So we are going to show you how to use the battery drill to make a common joint. You will be able to use this for making a canvas stretcher if you want to put one of those together. This is the framework that's underneath, and you can see that you're going to need to use the drill to insert screws in different places on this. So to make the join, to get it at a nice tight right angle, I'm going to use this clamp here and slot in my pieces of wood and make sure that they're tight up to this angle here, and tighten them into place so I know that they're going to be held tightly and securely for me. I'm going to start by undoing the bit that's in here. So I'm just going to twist this bit on the top. This is called the chuck. So I'm going to twist that and that piece will fall out. I'm going to now put in another bit which is thinner than, it's not as thick as the screw there. This is going to act as a guide for that screw to go into in the wood. Okay, so I'm just screwing that on. You can see the claws there on the chuck are closing on the bit, and you can twist it until you hear it click, and then you know that it's in there nice and tightly. So to make sure that I'm not going to go in too far with the drill bit, I'm going to use the masking tape to mark on the length of the screw. So just taking a little bit of this and then see how far I want to go. So I know that when we get up to the masking tape, I'll stop drilling, okay? So I'm going to drill into both pieces of wood by pressing the trigger on the drill. And keeping that trigger pressed as I pull the drill bit out. And then I'm going to drill another hole. So then I'm going to change this now. Just twist the chuck and I'll be able to take that out. And then insert the screwdriver bit. And then again, just twist that so it's nice and tight in there. So I'm going to get that screw into position, and using the trigger to control the speed, just push that into my material, just gradually easing that in. And then once I've got them both in position, I'm going to tighten them up. So that's your join there. And then if you want to remove these screws, you'll see that the drill has got an arrow pointing backwards. You can push that in and that's going to take the screw out. You can see on the other side it's got one going forwards. That's going to push the screw in. Okay, so make sure it's in reverse. And match the cross on this up with the cross on the screw, and apply pressure so those crosses stay connected, and then just use the trigger to take the screw out. So remember, keep that pressure on the screw so that the crosses match up and you don't destroy the head of the screw there, okay? So now I am going to show you how to drill a hole in a piece of material with the battery operated drill. I'm going to change the bit in here, so you can use any of these. You can also use these spade bits or the hole saw bits with this tool, just the same as the pillar drill, okay? So again, I'm going to twist this bit here until that bit falls out, and then I'm going to insert the bit that I want to use and then twist that until it clicks. You'll be able to hear it, okay? I'm going to secure my material down onto the surface using the clamp. So to tighten it, I'm just going to pull the black trigger. If I want to loosen it, I can press the silver bit and that loosens it, okay? So just secure that onto the table. I'm going to put it here actually. And then make sure that the forwards arrow is pressed in, okay? You don't want it to be in reverse. Okay, make sure that this arrow is pressed. And then you're going to control the speed by the trigger on the front there, okay? So you can go fast or you can go quite slowly. So put your drill where you want to drill a hole. You can apply some pressure on the top and then just pull the trigger and push it through your material, and then keep that trigger pulled when you remove it from the material. So I'm going to now show you how to use the jigsaw. It's like the bandsaw, but it's a little bit less fixed, slightly less accurate, but more portable. And I'm going to cut a straight line on this material, and I'm going to show you how to cut a shape out of the middle of your material, okay? So what I want to do first is load the blade, okay? So we've got various different blades in the workshop. Some are some are better for different materials. I've chosen this one because I want to cut this shape quite neatly. So I'm going to make sure that the machine is locked, so press this red button in here, and then you can see that I'm not able to pull that trigger, so it's not going to judder or move or start up unexpectedly. Now to insert the blade, I'm going to put it just in between this little slot here, and to open this section up where it's going to hold the blade securely, I'm going to just pull this. There, you can see that it's open, okay? So just slot that in, make sure that it's slotted into place, and then close. You can see that it's secure, okay? And then to use the machine, press this button on the top, and you can see that by pulling the trigger, I can get the machine to go slowly or really fast, okay? So I'm going to secure my material onto the table. I want to cut quite close to the table so that the material doesn't judder around like a diving board. I'm going to keep this black flat bit flat in contact with the material at all times, and that's going to keep the machine under control. It's going to mean that it doesn't like judder around and jump. So I'm going to start. I'm going to keep my hand on top of the machine also. You can see there's a little mark where I can put my hand, and then I'm going to use the trigger to start the blade before it touches the material, and then just follow that line that I've drawn. see how to make a straight cut in the material. Now I'm going to show you how to cut out an area from the middle. So to loosen the clamp, just press the silver bit on the top, and you can see that's allowing me to release it. And now I'm going to tighten that on. So I've drilled a hole already in the centre where I want to cut out, and that hole I'm going to slot the blade through, again keeping this bit flat in contact with the work at all times. Okay? So I'm going to take the tool out and move the material a bit now. Okay, so you can see I've cut the shape out of the centre now. Some of the edges are a little bit rough, but that's fine because I can sand them down and I can use this file. You can see that there's a little bit that's missed out of the shape here. So I'm just going to reflect that curve with the curve of this file here, and you can see I've managed to refine that curve, okay? Also, the inside edges, you can see here, is not completely smooth, so I could continue to use the file, or you can use a little bit of sandpaper just to sand down the rough edges on there and get that so it's nice and smooth. And just sand down these rough edges. Just to finish off that cut there and refine the work that I've done.